Welcome to Wine Chats with Billy and Lindsay,
where we drink wine and chat life.
Okay. Oh, that
Careful.
was really suddenly started. Hello.
It normally is when you start, Bill. Dropping the glasses.
Yahoy.
Welcome to another exciting episode of us, Wine Chats with Billy and Lindsay. You know,
Except we're drinking juice.
we're drinking. Well, no, this blanket is like not comfy behind me. We are drinking juice today, alcoholic juice, people.
Yeah, don't be ridiculous.
We're going to be talking about our OnlyFans journey
Yes,
because we get a lot of questions about it now.
we do.
And it's such a fun ride that we are on. So we thought, let's just do an episode about it. And
Yes.
we can tell you all about it and what's been happening and what is going to continue to happen.
Tell them, Lindsay.
Tell them. We're drinking box juice today. That's all you need to know. It's G-Flip's. It's not really new because it's been around for a bit.
No, it's been
but,
ages, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
It's, oops, sorry.
And it's all over me. Do you know what? This is not the first time I've splashed something all over me this morning. It was worse because the other thing was white. It was a yogurt and I was mixing. I was like giving it a mix. I was shaking it. Oh my God. I was shaking the yogurt. It was one of those kefir yogurt things.
Yeah.
And as I opened it up, it just went everywhere.
Ew, I hope you cleaned it.
Everywhere. Of course I cleaned. I can't.
I don't know.
No, I definitely did. And then I found some on my skirt this morning looking like jizz. And I was like, oh my
I was
God.
going to say like yogurt dried. You're going to have to wash your skirt.
I will have to wash my legs as well. Okay, cheers.
Cheers. And see how I was lazy? I grabbed one glass. Actually, I wasn't lazy. I just actually grabbed a glass and forgot about Billy. So she's drinking out of the can.
I really enjoy these box juices in a can. They're like delicious and they don't taste like alcohol to me.
They taste like alcohol to me.
Yeah.
But they taste so juicy as well.
So juicy.
Juicy box.
Oh God.
Boom, boom.
We've already dropped jizz and juicy box in this episode. It's going to be a wild one. Okay. Listen, our OnlyFans journey, such an organic journey as Lindsay loves to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
It really was very organic the way it started. We never in a million years did we ever think that, one day we're going to start an OnlyFans.
That was not on the cards when you proposed the podcast to
No.
me at all.
No. That wasn't even a thing when I proposed the podcast.
No, that's true.
Right? Like OnlyFans didn't even exist.
Well, I don't know. That was 6 years ago. I don't know how long OnlyFans has been around for.
Lindsay, we actually did an episode about OnlyFans ages ago and we did go through all of this information. I'm
Interesting.
pretty sure that it wasn't around 6 years ago. But listen, anyway. But we just for the last, would you say not for the last year because we've had our OnlyFans for the last year, but at least like a year or two before that.
Yes.
We were getting regular comments on our podcast videos on YouTube.
Yep.
Just like complimenting our feet.
Yep.
And it was so random. And we full disclosure, we do probably play it up a little bit for the cameras. As in we will be more conscious about the fact that they are there. Nowadays, of course.
But can I just cut in for one quick second? We, at the beginning, and a lot of times, even though we know that there's people out there that like seeing our feet, this is genuinely how I would sit anyways.
True story.
And I genuinely 100% am always in bare feet.
True story.
Which, if you listen back to some episodes, you'll actually hear us talking how even in the wintertime, I don't wear socks. I'll have slippers on, but I'll have bare feet on. So we were always naturally, genuinely in our bare feet when we recorded.
I wasn't. I wore socks all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like I'm a big sock wearer. So it never occurred to me to wear.
Only in the wintertime.
Only in wintertime, of course. Yes.
Yeah,
Summer. No, exactly. Because then it's also like Australia. We don't wear shoes in the house. That's weird.
Gross.
Right? So we would always just sit up on the couch and our feet would be showing. Nothing weird, nothing, I don't know. We just would sit how we sit, whatever. Anyway, this fan base found us and started commenting and started following us. And then I think it was like last year, we probably talked about it. I reckon we talked about it for a good 2 or 3 months of like genuinely being like.
No, we brought it up not last year, the year before, and we kind of toyed with it.
Yeah.
And then we were both, because we're such square boxes, we're both like, ooh, no, we could do that.
Oh my God,
OnlyFans,
totally.
oh my God,
Yeah. And like,
and
how do
then-
I tell my husband like, oh, hey.
Totally. And we were like, we don't want to do anything that we don't want to do. We didn't know how the interacting with them, with the fans would be. It just seemed very too chocolatey for us vanilla girls.
Yeah. That is a really good way of describing it.
I know.
Too much sauce, not enough vanilla.
I said it, Billy.
I said
it.
I love it. I want to build on it.
So then at the beginning of last
Yes.
year, we toyed with it again.
Yes.
We're like, should we just start it for shits and giggles?
Just try it.
What do we have to lose? we're in control.
Totally. Exactly.
If we don't want to do something, we say no. If we end up signing up and start doing it for a couple months and then we're like, this is not our cup of tea, we cancel it. Like, what do we have to lose? Oh my God.
Apparently nothing, because we kept doing it.
It is so much fun.
It is so much fun. That is the one thing that was straight away in my head when you said it. It like has become this most funniest, interesting thing that's happening to us.
Yeah.
And I know that, like, I think from my camp, like, people were definitely like, we're conservative people.
Yeah.
I'm a conservative
Totally.
person. Not to a huge extent, but like there is definitely like a part of me that's like, oh my God, I'm not doing a fucking OnlyFans for my feet.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. Like, that's so ew, gross, this, that. Like, you think, right? Go. Yeah.
No, I totally cut you off. It's society's like perception
stigma.
of it.
It's such a stigma around OnlyFans in general,
Yeah.
and then feet in general seem to be extra, like, people get weirded out by it. It's like boobs and ass is okay, but like somehow like with feet, it's like this. Well, I mean,
like,
to be fair, if we were doing boobs and ass, they probably wouldn't be impressed with that either. But yeah, my camp was definitely not impressed, and I had a lot of like my friends being like, "Ew, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what is happening in your life?" Lindsay, on the other hand,
everyone I was telling, they're like, oh my God, that's so cool. That's so crazy. And everyone was so intrigued. Like, that is the biggest word that I can, not the biggest, that's the most common word that I can think of whenever I tell people or when we talk to people about it, is their intrigueness of it. Because it's such a, not a faux pas thing, but it's, you hear it and you know people have these accounts, but two normal people that have just a foot account that is actually becoming quite successful, I guess.
Like, we've say.
You know, we've made a chunk of money. I'm not going to tell you how much, but we made a chunk of money. We've been in the top 8% of all OnlyFans creators. So I am going to brag about that. That's huge, I think.
I think that's huge because we used to follow it, and at first we were like 20%, and then we come down to like 19%, and now we're like in the top 8. And I think that, that's very impressed. I think we're both very like, what is happening? Like, how did this even like come to this? Like, we, again, never set out to do this. It's just been such a pleasant surprise. And I think the content that we've created through it for like customs and things have been so much fun. And like Lindsay says, I think this is where Lindsay always like comes in really good and hard for me, because like being a yes person, I'm like, okay, I'll show you my vagina. But no, Lindsay is a very strong...
We're a foot page, Billy. Put your lips back in. Feet.
I can put my toe in there. That's fine.
Right. Gross. Don't get any ideas.
Weird. We won't. That's
We're only, for if you're new watching this, we are a non-X-rated OnlyFans page.
100%.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah.
And so I think that's where like Lindsay's been very good with being like, I mean, not that, again, I would never have gone there. Jokes aside, I wouldn't have. But I think it's also good that she's so like, well, no, we don't do that.
Yeah.
We don't do that.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
And can I just tap in? Okay, it's so funny. I remember watching something ages ago. I have no idea who it was or where it was, but it was some, I'm going to say a sex industry worker.
Yep.
I don't know if she was a prostitute or what she was, and I remember her saying something about her clients, how she feels very protective over her clients when people like downgrade them and like make fun of them and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, that's a bit of a weird thing. Like, yeah, I'm judging them. But I have to say, we like all of our fans are so respectful.
Yes.
We have only had one naughty picture sent to us. Everyone else is, would you be okay with this? Or what are your guidelines, restrictions, whatever. Everybody has been so respectful.
Couldn't agree more.
And I now know what, I'm not comparing myself to her because she was like some crazy ass girl that was like super successful in the industry. But
I mean,
like,
not yet. Not with that attitude, Lindsay.
But like now I get it, because when people make fun of like, oh my God, who's into feet? I'm like, hang on, that's not fair, because it could be the buddy that you're sitting beside at work.
And it probably is.
Exactly. Like, not all of these people, quote unquote, are sitting behind their computer in a dark room.
Yes.
Like, like
so true.
Being this stereotypical person, you know, they're just people with a fetish. Whoop-de fucking do.
And what a fetish to have. Like, that's not about, like, what is the problem with a little bit of feet?
Cute.
Like, it really, like you said, they've always been very respectful. They've always been very kind, and like very, like, anytime we've created a custom content, they're also grateful, and they're also like nice to us.
Yeah.
So I am a little bit protective of those people, because there's nothing wrong with having a little bit of an interest. And I'm actually so surprised at how many people do have a foot fetish and a foot interest. It literally could be any one of you. Actually, it is probably most of you who are watching on YouTube. Hi.
Oh. No, but like legit, it could just be somebody that you work with.
Yes.
Just, it's like being a tits and ass guy, like what you said.
Totally, yeah.
Which is acceptable.
Yeah. Yes.
Right?
That's so true. Why is it acceptable to be into something that's obviously so sexual? Yeah. And I think this is one of the things as well that like we've asked our fans and been like, what is it about the feet? Like why? What's the deal? And I think like one of the ones I remember most is probably the person who said to us that it's like the soles of the feet are not something that you would ever see on a woman. Like you would see tits, you would see ass, you could go on a beach and see any of that. But like you don't really get to see soles. So
because people are staying them, or you have socks on, you have shoes on.
Totally, right?
And a misconception too, when you tell people that you have an OnlyFans account for feet, they're like, oh, I wouldn't be able to. My feet are so ugly. I'm like, no, we're not foot models.
Yes.
It's a page for feet. It's totally different.
Yes.
We've had chipped toenails. We've had naked toenails. We've had toe hair.
Yes.
Our feet have been dirty.
Yes. You're so right. There's been nothing that anybody has been like, oh, don't do that again. Like there's obviously people who will put up requests and be like, can you have this nail polish on or that or this? But it's never been like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Really, has it?
Yeah, no.
Like.
No.
So there's nothing like, and people will be like, oh, do you get, like people will ask me, oh, you got a pedicure for your feet? I'm like, no, I got them because I like pedicures on my feet. Like it's got nothing to do with anything because to be honest, anytime we've shown up with any kind of toes, it's totally been accepted.
Yeah. It's totally been accepted.
Oh God. Okay. I think we need a break. After the break, we'll chat about some of the most frequently asked questions we get about our OnlyFans. You go be Tolicious over there.
Tolicious.
So, being that we're so famous on OnlyFans now, there are some frequently asked questions that we get all the time. That's why they're called frequently asked questions. The first one for me, I think, is like where so many of my friends, now that like it's rolling and people aren't as judgy around me for it, people always ask me like, oh my God, should I do this? Like, is this like, I've got feet, can I do this? Should I start?
And oh my God, my friend and I have been talking about starting one forever.
Yes.
Me.
Thoughts? What do you say to people?
I always say, and not to sound hoity-toity or like, please, you're not going to be like us.
Well, that's a bit hoity-toity.
Right, I know, but without trying to sound like that.
Yes.
The only reason why, and they even say this if you look into like, should I start an OnlyFans account? How do I make it successful? We had the platform already on YouTube for our podcast.
Yes.
If just Billy and Lindsay with no podcast tried to start one, it would have probably failed miserably, which you hear about all the time on Reddit and on other forums.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, I started OnlyFans. I have no fans. I'm making no money, blah, blah, blah. YouTube and our podcast like made us successful.
100%. 100%. Like you said, we already started from something. Yeah. There was already, if you will, there was a demand for our feet.
Yeah.
So we did it as a response to people saying, hey, you have pretty feet.
Yeah.
Like, thank you.
And we've got different platforms that we're putting out our content on.
Yes.
Yeah. For lots of different people.
Yeah. So I do the same. I'd be like, look, you can try, but I agree with Lindsay. Like, unless there's a way for you. And also people ask a lot, like, should I, like, I want to do it, but I want to be anonymous about it. Like, then there's absolutely, to me, I have no idea. Like, you could try.
You can.
You can.
You can.
Oh, you absolutely can.
Yeah, of course you can.
But I don't know how long it would take you to gain traction if you were anonymous, if you don't already have a platform. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like if like a friend of mine was like too shy to put her feet up and, do it under her own name and wanted to do it anonymously, I would say that you're just going up against all these other accounts who are being openly tolicious.
Oh, I kind of disagree with that in the point of being anonymous.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters whether you show your face or not, but you need that established platform already to make your OnlyFans account.
But that established platform, like, depends on you being a known person.
Not necessarily. Maybe it's not.
I don't know.
Maybe it's something where they don't know who you are. I don't know.
Right. So like you're saying, if you were like a lifestyle content creator that never shows their face, you might be able to listen.
Yeah,
we don't know. Yeah, totally. Like,
the key is that you need an established platform already, I think.
Right. Yes.
I don't know.
Let's try it and let us know. We have no idea.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. But
Yeah,
I would think that it would be harder because, again, like, people I think come, like, it's not necessarily for, yes, it is for our feed, but it's for our feed, right? It all kind of, again, depends on it being under us, under our umbrella. I don't know. So I think if you didn't already have, I don't know. But that's my thoughts. Like, I say the same thing to my friends. I'm like, I don't think it's going to be as easy to get up and start earning money if you don't already have, like, a demand for it in a sense. Because I think that's why it's been successful for us. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no, definitely. Yeah.
What's something else that people ask you all the time? We had a bunch of questions.
Mine, well, it was funny because I just went over to a friend's house on the weekend, her and her husband, and I hadn't seen them in a long, long time. So they didn't even know I had an OnlyFans account. Right. Yeah. And it's always easier to show people our profile page.
Yes.
To give them a feel of like what we actually do. Because as soon as you say OnlyFans, their mind just straight away goes into the gutter.
Yes.
So they laugh when I show them the photos because it's not confronting, but it's kind of like, oh my God.
But it kind of is. You're right. Yeah.
So they'll say, look, what type of customs do you get?
Yes.
Which is their biggest question. Like, oh my God, what are you?
That's right. What kind of customs do you make?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, what are people asking for? So I have to say this has been very eye-opening. Yes. And because I'm predominantly the one that messages people back.
Oh, you should know that as well for the fans who are watching and listening out there. You're mainly speaking to Lindsay. It's true. Yes.
There's been times where I feel like such a naive square box. I'm like, what does that mean? And I'm like, oh, right.
Yes.
So we've learned things. Humiliation, people like food being squished.
Yes.
Lots of footsies, lots of soles.
Yep.
Foot and toe dexterity.
Yes. Comparisons
is
There's a lot of comparisons, like the ones where you're like, whose shoe size is bigger? Yeah, Lindsay can't. But shoe size wise, I'm an 8, Lindsay's a 7.5, just for those watching and curious.
We get asked that all the time.
We get that asked a lot. What's been your favorite custom? Because I know what my favorite, and I'm sure you know what my favorite is as well.
No, you go first.
We have, I think it's just this one gentleman or lady, I don't know. There is a person out there who requests for us to just sing a song.
Oh.
Just put put the camera up so you can see your souls.
Yeah.
And just have fun and sing a song.
Yeah.
And obviously those are like my favorite ones.
Yeah.
Because we just get to pick any song and it just has to be fun and it has to be a vibe. Mm-hmm. And I love singing. And so to me, it's like the perfect karaoke because no one's really listening.
Except my
neighbors.
neighbors.
So I think the last one we busted out was like a Whitney Houston, I Want to Dance with Somebody. And I was like, woo!
Yeah, she gets too into it. I'm not a singer. Yeah, see that? Look, she's
like, I love it. Like, it makes me so happy because it's so simple. Like, to me, I would do that in my house anyway.
Yeah.
And here I am just like.
Yeah, making money off of your feet. Yeah. Those aren't my favorite. There are heaps of fun doing them. So if you're watching and you were the one that requested, heaps of fun doing it.
As you can tell in our videos, yes.
Yes, but I suck at singing. Like, absolutely suck. And we don't even, no.
But it's not even the point, like it doesn't really matter.
No, but it hurts my ears. So I can only imagine what it's doing to those listening to. I get a real kick out of the ones that send scripts.
Okay.
And we actually have to do multiple scenes. And it's only because it's so entertaining that this is the world. It's it's just a whole new world that we didn't know was out there. And like we get an insight to it.
Absolutely. And I also think like what I think people wouldn't think or understand is that they're not scripts in sexual nature. Again, none of this is like a sexual it's not a sexual thing to us. Obviously, whoever's requesting it, it probably is for them. But like it's never something that's like, well, sometimes, like, again, they ask. But, like, the ones that we have been doing have been, like, step on Lego and, pretend it really hurts you.
Yeah.
And it's, like, it's just so much fun to us. Like, it's so much fun. It's such a vibe. So I actually think, like, the customs that we do get pretty awesome.
It's so intriguing.
Yeah.
Like, so intriguing.
We've squished fruit before.
Yeah.
What else have we?
We had to kill bugs.
That one was sad for me because I'm a lover of life. And so to me, to actually hunt down an animal and squish it.
It was an insect, not an animal.
Isn't that an animal?
It's an insect.
Down the line, I'm sure it's all.
It's an insect.
Aren't we animals? We're all animals, Lindsay.
It's a fucking
including
insect.
the insect. So anyway, I feel bad for those. Please don't ask me to kill things because that makes me feel sad.
Yeah.
I'll kill a banana. That's already dead.
Okay, I don't think it was alive to begin with, but yes. So that was into a banana. I mean, I guess the plant's alive.
Yes.
the plant, the tree that it's on is alive.
But like I would have eaten it anyway. I don't want to kill a sad little bug who was going to go home to their mum later that day. In the meantime, they just never made it home. It makes me so sad. Anyway.
Those are always interesting. So it's been eye-opening.
Yes.
Indeed. And I get so excited when we have a message because I'm like, ooh, what's going to be this time?
What are we going to do this time? So
and
true. Yes.
When I'm like, okay, we've got like, X amount of customs to
That's
do.
right. Because on the Thursdays when I come, I'm like, how many customs are we doing? And then Lindsay's got her little list. She's written exactly who requested what for how long. Because that's another thing you have to note how long the customs go for because we charge per minute.
Yeah. And it's so funny. Billy's like, well, what are we doing today?
Totally. Like I didn't. And sometimes she'll be like, okay, bring a rake, some undies, and this. She just gives me like a random list of things to bring, and I'm like, okay, I'll bring a corkscrew. Sure, like whatever. I don't know.
It's so funny.
Yeah, it's weird.
And so what did Henry say when we decided? Okay, yeah, we're gonna give it a go.
So what do your husbands think about this? That's the one big question people always ask. I think Henry was probably more supportive of it than I was. Like I think honestly, again, if he had said no, flat out, no. Yeah. I wouldn't have argued with him about it. Because I was like, I feel weird about this. So if he was to say no to me, I'd be like, okay, well that's that. Yeah. But because he was so supportive, he was like, he finds it so fucking fascinating. Yeah. He loves it. Yeah. And this is how he tells people about it as well. Like he just loves being like, okay, my wife has an OnlyFans account. And then people go like, oh, what?
Because when you first say that, their mind automatically goes to like, oh, X-rated, hoo-ha's. Yeah, hoo-hoos. Totally. It's not hoo-ha, it's a hoo-hoo.
Hoo-ha, booba, whatever. Okay. It's lots of different bits and bobs, but they never go to toes. Yeah. Right? Like people don't ever. And so he's like, okay, he waits for their reaction and then he goes, but it's for fees.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So I find like it's actually cute to me how like happy and supportive he is for us to do this. And like we're bringing in money. Like how can you say no to that, right? Like it's
easy.
Yeah. And we have so much fun doing it. Again, I've never come home to him and been like, oh my God, some dude has said this and that and scared us or whatever. Like it really, truly hasn't been like that.
Not at all.
So it's just been a whole bunch of fun and like all just positivity really coming from it. What about my Cammy?
Cammy, he was exactly the same. I think I was more for it than he was when I first brought it up. Because again, the stigma with it, he's like, oh, OnlyFans, I don't know. And then when I said, look, we're just going to give it a go. It's just our feet. He's like, yeah, it just starts with feet. But it always just starts with feet.
I'm like, please, do you know who your wife is?
Exactly. Do you know who's in bed with you starfishing every night? Like, I'm vanilla.
Like, I'm not dressing up for anybody else, babe. Right? Not even you. Yeah.
Exactly. So when I told him, I'm like, look, it's going to be non-X-rated. We have control. This is the thing. We have control. No one's going to be forcing us to do anything. Even if we did get the message that was full of vulgarity, well, we're just not going to answer you. Like, it's simple. We don't have to engage with those people. And like I said earlier, we have had maybe one person that was like that.
We did. We had one dick pic and I had to reply to that because Lindsay was away and she couldn't, like she was in Bali and she didn't have access to OnlyFans, which by the way, if you go to Bali, you don't have access to OnlyFans. Anyway. No.
Shame.
And I was like, Lindsay, what do I do? Like, he sent this photo and there was a few episodes ago we talked about how like the ick, like we talked about that on Perth Now. Yes. I cannot stand dick pics. Like if Henry sent me a dick pic, legit, I think I would divorce him. I'd be like, please don't fucking ever send that shit to me. That is so gross. I get so like actually like offended by it.
Yeah, they're ugly. Ew.
Oh, so then I said something like, please refrain from sending us such content as we do not, I don't know. I said something so lame and he obviously never replied.
Yeah, no.
But please don't send, like we are so not, like that's not.
We're ladies.
Yes.
I mean, ladies like dick pics too, but these two
but
ladies
not even
don't.
from my husband, not this lady.
Exactly,
right?
Yeah. He is much the same. Like he finds it so entertaining now. He's super supportive. He's like, go get him type thing. Like if that's like, I think it has shocked him at what we're actually making. So he's like, oh, dang, like, okay, yeah, you show your feet, girl.
Yeah, right. Because the first time we actually did content, like custom content, was when we all went out on like a little houseboat day.
Yes.
And we sold our first photos. They were just photos, wasn't even videos. Yeah. And they were like, can you help us do stuff? Because we just got here and we're making a barbecue. And we're like, we are making content.
Yeah.
And when we showed them how much we made, they were both like, oh my God, go.
Yes.
Go, make more.
We will look after the children.
Right? Yeah. So I think like after that, I mean, they were both a bit like, okay, well, this isn't anything, like it's relatively innocent. It's not,
And it's just to finish it all off, like I find that this year is quite interesting and fascinating and exciting for us because we've started the year kind of like ho-hum, like, okay, it's our 6th season. When are the stars going to align? What is going to happen this year? Like we were both kind of like, okay, we'll give it a go. But if we don't see any traction with the podcast, Wine Chats, like I think it's time to lay her to rest. OnlyFans came around. TV has come around.
Yes.
Like YouTube, we're able to monetize on YouTube now. Like that is actually
hectic.
huge.
Like hectic.
That's a huge milestone.
It really is.
I know there's a gazillion creators out there making $1 gazillion. I get that. But for us, we did not, I don't know about you, but when we started YouTube, I was not thinking we'd get to the point where we'd be able to monetize.
No, and every time we checked our eligibility, it seemed like we were so far off.
Yeah.
Like I honestly didn't think it was going to happen for us at all, or at least not for the next, I don't know how long. But we finally have started to monetize. So you will see, for all our YouTube followers, you will see that you can now become an exclusive member. You can give us super thanks now if you like the fact that we do these sorts of things. For our audio listeners, we're playing fussies. Sorry. But yeah, like I think it's, you're right. Like it's taken it all to just like another level that we never thought we would achieve and get. And it really all is down to our lovely, lovely foot fans. So like, thank you.
And our lovely, lovely voices.
Oh,
and we can't forget about our non-foot fans. We love you.
Sure, absolutely.
But our other followers and listeners that have been following us along for the last 6 years, right? Because every little download makes a huge difference. We just find it very entertaining and intriguing that this has taken us down this path. But we're all for it. And it's super exciting. And now we have all these little branches off of the Wine Chats tree of like all fun, exciting things to do.
So you're right. Thank you to all our fans and listeners and followers, and tell your friends about us.
Like, subscribe, join members, review, and all of the above. Okay, hit the button with your toe. We're done.
Wait.
Oh, you have a skirt on. Careful. Oh, God.
It's fine. Okay, bye. Thank you for joining us for this latest episode of Wine Chats podcast with Bilder and Lindeland. You can find us on our socials on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and you can listen to us on any favorite podcasting app or watch on YouTube.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, share, review, comment, send us some love. We absolutely love it.
Chat soon. Come on, Lenny. Chat soon.
Chat soon.
Chat soon.
We're not putting this in.
Come on.
Okay, we'll add in chat soon at the end. Both of us?
Yeah, go
on. Chat soon.